It's been 2 years since I saw Free Iwatobi Swim Club from Kyoto Animation, so I decided to actually rewatch the show in the English dub, and surprisingly, it was actually a lot better than I thought it would be, with the likes of Vic M, who did Edward Elric, Todd Habercorn, who did Nazu Dragon from Fairy Tail, and Boss Johnny Young, who did Lelouch from Code Geass. So some really big names were in this show. I was very surprised when I actually heard some of their voices, especially Todd Habercorn. Even though I enjoyed the dub, there is some hilariously horrible dubbing. For example, in episode 2, while Makoto was having dinner with his family, his little brother, who's voiced by Megan Von Der Plum, has to be the worst dub character I've heard so far. And even though the person is inexperienced, it's just, you could have put a little bit of emotion in the voice and it just sounded just so fake. It doesn't just sound like you're immersed in the world. Just have a listen to this amazing performance.
Don't touch my food, you meanie!
Oh, whatever, you're not gonna finish that.
But I always eat my ham!
Hey!
And speaking of questionable dubbing, I know the joke of the series is that Haru and his friends have very feminine names like Nagisa, Rin, Haruka, Rei, and Makoto. But the fact that obviously I understand that obviously, women VAs or ladies are obviously going to, voice act little children, but she just sounded way too feminine. Haru's obviously a male boy, and just that fact, it catches you off guard, because obviously you expect them to at least sound like a little boy, but just full blown sound like a little girl, and it'll just catch you by surprise and you will have a good laugh. Well, I know I did anyways. Free's characters aren't exactly what I call interesting. However, their personalities are polar opposites of one another. Nagisa and Rei are good examples of this. Rin and Haruka, Makoto and Haruka, they're basically all polar opposites of one another. They have different achievements of different ways of solving issues. However, how they manage to collectively come together to conquer whatever challenges lies in front of them is what I really like about them, whether it's being stranded on a deserted island or as simple as teaching somebody how to swim. Free shows that swimming really isn't a popular form of sport. For example, the old club Haru and friends used to go to his kids is getting shut down due to a lack of people going to it anymore. Iwatobi High School had a swimming club decades ago, however it was hard to track members, so they eventually had to close it down until Nagisa decides to actually reopen the club. And even the show, they basically said, Iwatobi Swim Club was actually a new club even though it's been there for decades, but it seems that people have forgotten that it exists, well at least the students anyway. So basically they have to start from the very bottom like any new club does. The club committee won't trust them with a budget, so they have to start getting more achievements, and even when they do eventually get achievements, people just don't seem to care, and that could be an extension of the fact that other sports are more popular, such as basketball, American football, rugby, baseball, tennis, even badminton has been more popular than swimming in some scenarios. For example, Kuroko no Basket is spanning over 3 seasons with over 70 episodes or more or less. Ace no Diamond is spanning 2 seasons, 95 episodes. iShield 21, 3 seasons spanning over 145 episodes. Teku is basically a little, tennis anime short. It's not to be taken seriously, and that has like 4 or 5 seasons. That's even more than Free. Free has only 12 episodes, around 20-ish episodes, maybe with the prequel movie. That just shows that people don't really care about swimming. Plus, most people don't watch Free for the story anyways. Even Kyoto Annie knows that. Story heavily matters in any anime, whether it's sports, shoujo AI, shonen AI. Story is a huge factor. It's why people basically watch anime. Anime is basically a form of storytelling. However, animation is the main key to actually having a really good show in sports anime. It matters as much or even more, in my opinion, than story characters. Water really isn't that easy to animate. Make it too real and it throws away the immersion that you're trying to create. Make it too fake and it just looks horrible. However, Kyoto Annie did a fantastic job with the animation, especially during the relay and racing scenes. They look absolutely spectacular. I've never seen water look so good. Something that gets overlooked in my opinion is the sound. Not just the music, but the overall background noise of the VFX or the visual effects. And I love the way it's handled on this show. When characters are talking in a group, you can hear people, but barely as you would in a real conversation. So for example, people A and B are having a conversation, but people C and D are in the background. You can sort of hear them, but you can't hear them fully. It's sort of like a bokeh effect, or in photography when you actually blur the background out. You can still see the blurred background, but not as much. The main focus is on basically the person in front of the background. That's sort of what they call the bokeh or the blurred to held background. And another example would be just the sound of grasshoppers, wind blowing in the background, birds, and just the overall chitter chatter, people, chain noises, and just this thing that just immerses you in the entire world. And also, I really like this scene. It just handles music and silence pretty well, actually.
What's that?
Makoto's pet fish passed away, and that's where he buried them.
That's right. Mako had a pair of goldfish in grade school. Let's take a moment of silence for the best fish ever.
Another aspect I feel that gets overlooked in my opinion is the way you edit video. Gengaro Shigimura did the editing for free at Iwatobi Swim Club Season 1, and I like the way he chooses to cut out all of the mundane or very obvious scenes and makes us figure out how the scene went on our own. In episode 11, Rin messages his little sister Ko asking her for something. Then instead of actually showing Ko actually messaging to Rin, it cuts to another scene, and then the scene after that, it shows Rin looking at his cell phone, and then Rei arrives, indicating that Rin actually asked Ko for Rei's phone number. Another example would be Rin and Haru were racing, and the race started, and then the opening plays, and after the opening ends, we see Rin angry, indicating that he actually lost a race. However, we find out later in the episode that he didn't actually lose a race. It's this type of editing that works so well in sports anime, and I actually wish were used more in actually philosophical animes, more mystery, psychological, and actually shonen animes. I feel like this could work in all categories if implemented correctly. The biggest reason for people not wanting to watch free Iwatobi Swim Club is due to the man series in the show. And the thing is, it actually has a purpose and it's not forced down your throat. Swimming requires you not to have a t-shirt on. It's something we're really used to in real life. You're not going to get uncomfortable if you see a bunch of teenagers getting shirtless for about 10 minutes max going swimming, and that's really it. And I'm going to be honest with you, from mono to mono, straight man to whatever preference you have in men or females, no one really cares if you've seen a show with shirtless men. The worst insult you can get on the internet is that, oh, you're gay. And seriously, that's not an insult anymore. Seriously, it just the term has gone down the shitter. And I could go on and on about why I love free, but this video is probably a lot longer than I want it to be, and knowing my audience retention, you guys have already left. Free is about a group of friends rekindling the bond they had as children while dealing with the traumatic experiences they had growing up and moving on from it. Plenty of foreshadowing, a plot twist to keep you on your toes, and a refreshing female lead, along with scenes that might make you chuckle every now and then. Free is only 12 episodes with a second season that has 13 episodes and one prequel movie, and the first 2 seasons actually have an English dub. The first season is dubbed by Crunchyroll and the second is by Funimation. I heard the second season dub isn't that good, but I'll watch it anyways and I'll let you guys know if it's good or not. So try it out, see if it's your cup of tea. If not, then that's cool. My name is Abdullah and thanks for watching.